All right, I'll be the first to admit that at first glance you'll look at this week's tip and kind of go, when will I ever use it? But actually it's kind of cool, and I want to make sure you're aware of this function because there's lots of times where you could actually use this. And it's actually a function called change layer, which allows you to change the content of a layer, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. What we're going to do, I'm just going to arbitrarily for now pick some colors. You'll see in a moment it doesn't really matter. And we're going to use our custom shape tool. I already have the shape selected, which is basically this built-in heart shape. I'm going to make sure that in the options bar it's set to this first one, which is to create a shape layer. I'm going to hold down the shift key just to make sure I get a nice perfect heart shape. And if I need to, I can hold down the space bar to kind of reposition it. But we're going to do a fairly big heart shape, something like this. Now because we did it as a color, you'll see it temporarily just covers up the whole thing. Here in our layers palette is the color and the vector mask in that custom shape. What we're going to do is change that layer from just a solid color to something else by using this command, change layer content. You'll see it's currently a solid color. We're going to change it to an adjustment layer. We're going to make it levels, and then we'll basically use that just to kind of screen back or back screen, if you prefer that term, that area, something like this. Click OK. And of course, now that we've done that, then the nice part about doing it this way is it's very easy to go in and we can either change the shape because we have vector editing tools, or we can change the adjustment layer. Now, again, at first glance, you might look at that and kind of go, all right, Dave, that's kind of pushing it a bit, but just to show you the possibilities are many. Here's a logo that we previously created in Illustrator and brought into Photoshop as a tip to show you how you can build that in. That's one of the movies that you can find on the archive in the video area. But here's to show you the exact same concept. Here's the logo, and we're going to now take that logo and change the layer content to, in this case, let's use hue saturation just for giggles and see what it does. Lower the saturation all the way down, maybe move the lightness up, something like this. And now we have another way of making a logo appear. Instead of just filling with white and lowering the saturation, for example, or the opacity I should say, now we have all these options where we can go in and keep changing our mind about the adjustment layer or the mask itself. So the whole idea is you start with a shape layer and then change the layer content. But it's important to note there's all sorts of other possibilities. For example, if you add an adjustment layer and you really meant to do something other than the one you have, oops, right here, maybe you added hue saturation, you really want it to be levels, instead of deleting it and starting again, you just convert it, just like that. You can convert from one type of adjustment layer to another. So it's really quite a useful command once you try it out. Check it out. You'll like it. I think you will. Well, this is Dave Cross, last time for this year. Thanks very much for all your kind comments about these little video tips. I hope you have a great and happy and safe 2005. Happy New Year.